Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. No house, no heater, no electricity, no grocery store, no winter jacket, nothing. Outside, the temperature is far below freezing. Snow covers everything. The wind bites your skin. And if you don't find warmth soon, you could die before sunrise. Now here's the strange part. For most of human history, this wasn't a nightmare. It was normal life. Thousands of years ago, winter was one of the deadliest challenges a human could face. And yet, we survived. Which raises a fascinating question. Humans don't have thick fur. We don't hibernate. We're not built like polar bears or Arctic foxes. So why didn't winter wipe us out? The answer begins with something so powerful that losing it could mean death. Fire. Today, fire feels ordinary. You can start one with the click of a lighter. Ancient humans weren't so lucky. For them, fire was survival itself. A small flame provided warmth, light, protection, and a safe place to gather. For the first time, humans could push back against the cold. Problem solved, right? Not quite. Because a fire has one major weakness. It only works if you're standing next to it. Sooner or later, somebody has to leave. Someone has to gather wood. Someone has to hunt. Someone has to search for food. And the moment they stepped away from the flames, they were alone against winter. So if humans couldn't carry a campfire everywhere, what protected them? The answer was hiding in plain sight. Animals. Ancient humans didn't just hunt animals for food. They used almost every part of them. The meat provided energy, the bones became tools, and the fur became something incredibly valuable, a portable source of warmth. Imagine wearing the skin of the very animal that tried to kill you. Sounds strange today. But for ancient humans, that fur wasn't fashion, it was survival. The difference between freezing and living. Over time, humans became surprisingly skilled at making clothing. Some even layered different animal skins together. Without understanding science, they discovered something important. Layers trap heat, and trapped heat can save your life. For the first time, humans could travel farther from their fires, explore colder regions, and survive conditions that should have killed them. It sounds like the perfect solution, but it created another problem. Because fur doesn't magically appear. To get warm clothing, humans first had to catch the animal, and winter hunting was terrifying. Imagine walking through deep snow for hours. Your stomach is empty, your hands are freezing, every breath burns your lungs. Then suddenly, you spot an animal in the distance. This could be your next meal, or your biggest mistake. Many Ice Age animals were enormous. Some were larger than modern elephants. One wrong move could lead to serious injury, and in a world without hospitals, a serious injury could be a death sentence. So why take the risk? Because winter had a weapon even more dangerous than the cold: hunger. As winter settled in, the world changed. Plants disappeared, fruit vanished, animals became harder to find. The land that once provided food suddenly felt empty. Every morning brought the same question: what are we going to eat today? But the smartest groups understood something important. Winter survival doesn't begin in winter. It begins months earlier. Long before the first snowfall, they were already preparing. They hunted extra animals, collected resources, stored what they could, and planned ahead. Think about that. Thousands of years before refrigerators existed, humans already knew they needed to prepare for hard times. But even preparation had limits. Stored food eventually runs out, and that's when winter became truly dangerous. Because once supplies started shrinking, people had to make difficult choices, risk a hunt, travel farther, or hope tomorrow would somehow be better. And while all of this was happening, another problem waited outside: the weather itself. Most people imagine winter as snow, but snow wasn't always the biggest threat. Wind was. A freezing day is bad. A freezing day with powerful wind is far worse. The wind steals heat directly from your body, and ancient humans knew this. That's why finding shelter became critical. Many people imagine ancient humans spending winter inside caves. Sometimes they did, but caves weren't available everywhere. So what happened when there wasn't a cave nearby? They built their own shelters, using wood, animal skins, bones, whatever they could find. These shelters weren't comfortable, they weren't luxurious, but they blocked the wind, and sometimes that's all that mattered. In fact, some shelters were so effective that they trapped heat surprisingly well. Even snow itself could help. It sounds impossible, but snow can act like insulation. By blocking cold wind, it can actually help keep warmth inside. Nature was trying to kill them. Yet somehow humans learned how to use parts of nature against itself. At this point, it sounds like humans had figured everything out. Fire, clothing, food, shelter. Surely that was enough. But there was one final challenge, and it may have been the most important of all. No human survives winter completely alone. Think about it. One person gathering firewood can only carry so much. A group can gather enough for days. One hunter might fail. Several hunters have a better chance. One sick person alone might die. A group can help them recover. Humans survived winter because they worked together. Knowledge was shared, skills were taught, mistakes became lessons, and every winter made them a little smarter. In many ways, teamwork became humanity's greatest survival tool. But then came a challenge bigger than any single winter: the Ice Age. Huge glaciers spread across the planet. Temperatures dropped dramatically. Entire environments changed. Many animals disappeared forever. The world became colder and harsher than most of us can imagine, and yet humans survived. Why? Because humans possessed one ability that changed everything: adaptability. When conditions changed, humans changed. When old strategies stopped working, they created new ones. When one area became impossible to live in, they moved somewhere else, again and again. Winter kept creating new problems. Humans kept creating new solutions. And that's the real reason winter never wiped us out. Not because humans were the strongest animals. We weren't. Not because we were the fastest. We weren't. Not because we were fearless. We definitely weren't. Humans survived because we could learn, adapt, and work together. Every challenge taught a lesson. Every lesson increased our chances of survival. Every winter made us stronger. So the next time you're sitting inside a warm room, wrapped in a blanket, with food just a few steps away, remember this: your ancestors once faced freezing winters with almost nothing. No heaters, no supermarkets, no modern technology, just knowledge, determination, and each other. Which brings us to one final question. If you were dropped into an Ice Age winter tonight, with no phone, no electricity, no house, and no modern tools, how long would you survive? A week? 3 days? 1 night? Because the people who answered that question thousands of years ago became your ancestors. Everyone else disappeared.